together. You need to grow. You need to blossom together. So those are the areas I would like
but
to.
in doing that, in listening, obviously one has to be, communicate things as well.
I was talking about the non-verbal communication because
Right.
I think some of the listeners even were attacking when I talk about. I like us to talk about everything, but I'm saying that now you can also be observant.
But not everybody have that special gift of being observant and noticing that
You
there are
can't
other
give that excuse because it's your relationship. You have to. A point has to come in your relationship. Certain things are not being said. Can you just observe and see what is going on? If you observe and you make a realization, can you say, I've observed A, B, C, D? Is that what you were trying to tell me?
Is that realistic though? Does that
It
really
is
happen?
realistic.
Is it practical?
It's realistic. It's something that you should do. Because if you do love your partner and if
Yeah.
you are into them, then your concern would be, well, is he okay? Is she okay? Not that I'm seeing a girl. Is she okay?
Yeah.
You would ask yourself questions as to, maybe she's been a bit quiet or he's been a bit quiet.
Yeah.
Why would that be? Maybe he hasn't touched me. Or maybe when I've touched him, I keep saying him. Maybe when I've touched her, or vice versa, she hasn't reacted or he hasn't reacted.
Yeah.
So then those non-verbal cues are things that you should take account of in terms of you being. You should acknowledge the fact that something might not be flicking the switch as it may have done previously.
Yeah.
But then if you have been doing the same thing for 5 years, then you cannot expect the same stroke to work 5 years
It's
later.
not going to work.
8 years later,
Yeah.
10 years later. You do need to find, a slight shift of, stance, position, angle, the way that you approach certain things to keep it invigorated and alive.
So what about someone who's not that creative or imaginative like that? And, for them, they're thinking, this is the place that when I touch, and so they don't really create any interesting vibe apart from that. What would you say to that person?
You're both at fault here because you both have a duty to each other.
Yeah.
If you as a man are approaching your partner in a certain way and she isn't being excited by what you're doing, then she should communicate that. Something should be said. And at the same time, you shouldn't be so ignorant yourself to just think, okay, well, I can just do whatever and then this should excite you.
No more. At times, I will even link it to selfishness. It's because as you just want to, you have a like some. You want something. You know that at the end of the day, you want sex. So when you come, you're not really interested in satisfying her, but you are just interested in just a little arousal so that it can get easy penetration and deliver. That is, I think at times selfishness also come in, because if your main aim is to pleasure your spouse, you would do everything possible.
Yeah.
But men, the trick is that as we are enjoying it, it makes us lose our guards and a lot of things happen. If the woman is enjoying sex, it helps the man to also enjoy it further.
I'd like to explore this. A lot of things that happen. I think I might need to take a note of this.
Yeah.
You're right, because what you should be aware of is how well you are pleasuring or pleasing your partner. Because if you are selfish and you're there for yourself, then you get your rocks off, and then once your rocks are done, then job's over.
Yeah, and that is when the next time you may not even be allowed to even come closer.
There you go.
But I want to concentrate on non-sexual touches. The non-sexual touches are really important in a relationship. Those are the ones that keep intimacy alive. The touch on the back, just the reassurance.
It's more than the intimacy. It keeps the attraction.
Everything
alive.
Because you cannot. If you are not able to look at me at the bus stop and kiss me intimately, or just rub your hands around my back, or just a tap or anything, and then when you really want to have sex, you're touching. No, it is not right.
I did think about this. I thought to myself, when you walk down the street, you see people that you are not attracted to.
Yeah.
You just walk past anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
There comes a moment when you have that connection.
Yeah.
And then you and someone who would maybe potentially become your partner or your sexual partner or whatever, have a connection. From that point on, you're engaged with that person on a certain level.
Yeah.
And you keep that alive by the touching, the talking, the flirting, the all sorts.
Yeah.
Those kind of things keep that energy alive in that person. So to me, once you do establish that playing ground, it's for you to maintain the energy and the effort by engaging, communicating, talking, yes, touching, stroking, caressing, and not always sexually.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Not always
Yeah,
sexual.
it's
That
true.
actually makes sense.
It really, because we stopped doing that, and I think why do we stop doing it? Is it because we're taking each other for granted? Is it because
Sometimes.
I think
you were
that is-
hunting and you
yeah.
have caught the deer and you don't want to hunt anymore?
Complacency.
Yes, we don't want to do that again, and I think those are the things that really affect our sexual life.
Yeah.
But like you always say, Selassie, that life happens, and so sometimes it's all the tiredness and the do you think that boredom can play a major part? Because it's like maybe you do the same thing over and over again. It's the same bed. You don't explore in the kitchen. It's so it gets boring, because it's like before it even starts, you know how the whole
It's gonna
process
end.
is. He touches me, he kisses me a little, he holds my boobs a little bit, and then that's it. Next time, you kind of know the whole stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 till the end. And what do you think?
No, I would agree with you. Variety and excitement is important.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not telling the listeners to go and do anything like this, but wearing something different. Lighting a couple of candles, even playing different music in the background, or you come home from work and then something is prepared for you that you don't expect, or just to be pounced on in a certain way. Those kind of things keep it fresh and alive, keeps it different. So if you do the same things over and over again, then it will become the same routine, and routine isn't always good when it comes to intimacy or sexuality.
It becomes monotonous, and it becomes very boring.
It's almost like you're playing dot to dot. You go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4.
Exactly.
And then how is
There
that
has
going
to be a
excite you?
little bit of a mystery,
And you have to be careful here, because if you do get into a position where you're not excited, you do have a boring routine, then when something seems exciting, then you have problems.
That's why emotional affairs and stuff happen in the offices and stuff like that. That's for the women, because you become emotionally invested in another person.
Oh, believe you me,
takes-
men go through that too.
For me, I'm talking from a woman's angle. You become
Let me write
emotionally
this down.
You become emotionally invested in somebody, because let's say you do your hair, like you dye your hair red, and you come home and like your partner does not see, but there is this person in the office and just complimenting you. Before you realize, you become emotionally invested. Lunchtime, where you meet at the canteen for coffee, it turns into something else, and then you tend to develop certain level of intimacy. Those are the things we have to pay attention to. So as I said earlier, we have to be students of each other. We have to know.
Amazing. Let me open the phone lines right now. So you could give us a call on 0208 6707300. 0208 6707300. You could also call us on our mobile phone or WhatsApp or text on 0788 7475 940. 0788 7475 940. If you are outside of the UK, you could still call us through WhatsApp calls, and we would be able to pick it up. So it's 0788 7475 940. If you've only just dialed in, we are talking about sexual jumpstart. So jumpstarting sexual spark in our relationship, and I've got Moses and Selassie right here with me in the studio. So talking about what we can impact in our relationship to make it fresh, and there's a call coming through, so I'm going to pick up that call. Hello, good evening. This is the BEDTALK show. You are live on ABN Radio. Who am I talking to?
Oh, hi, Adjoa. It's Lydia from Ponchurch.
Oh, hi, Lydia. I know we've missed your calls. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good,
I
thank you.
Say hello to Selassie, the president of the Women's Sexual Liberation Association. Yes, as usual, great show. I'm listening, and I'll call back again if I have a question or a contribution.
Okay, we need to get your contribution coming through.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so make sure you give us a call again.
Yeah, I will.
We want to hear because we know that you're liberated and we know that you have a lot of information to give us.
I'm more of a first maniac.
Which is amazing. So far as it makes the man happy and it makes keeps the relationship going, hey, keep on doing it, girl. So give us a call again.
Yeah, I will do.
All right, okay, my darling. Thank you. Bye for now. So that was Lydia. Lydia was asking of you, Selassie. She says that you are the president of the Women's Liberation.
I didn't realize I was in the presence of leadership. Wow.
Lydia, thank you so much for that call. So what can one do to improve that sexual communication and intimacy? Because we're talking about, indirect or non-verbal communication and so on and so forth. What can one do to improve on that?
I think it's important to initially it's important to talk. It's important to explore the person you are with your partner. Let them know what you like and don't like. Let them know what turns you on, what excites you.
Yeah.
What are turn-offs? What can take away from the emotional feel or feeling that you're having at that present time. Communication is ridiculously important. I know you guys have touched on communication previously, but I don't think we can talk about how much communication has an impact on not only who you are in your relationship, but how you contribute to your partner's happiness or their pleasure, their feelings, their emotion.
I know Selassie also talked a lot about communication. Today you've kind of taken it to a slightly different angle, which is non-verbal communication.
Yeah.
I want you to hone in a bit more on that.
Because for me, what I realized that at times our partners are talking, and are we listening? Or they are acting in a certain way. Are we observing? Are we observant? Because are we so busy, or we, out of our frustration and desperation, we are just talking. So for there to be a better communication, there has to be talking, there has to be listening.
Yeah.
And listening, I don't mean that listening with your mobile phone or watching telly. Listening with your totality, opening all your senses to listen. Because what I realize in relationship nowadays, you are answering a WhatsApp message and you are pretending to be listening to your spouse.
At the same
That
time.
is really disrespectful and annoying. And there has to be a time in a day that you can zone in, just 10 minutes, checking up on each other, really connecting. I think if we discipline each other in a relationship to say that when we meet up after work, we're just going to put no electrical gadgets for 20 minutes or 10 minutes. Let's just talk. Let's just connect. It's something you agree on in a relationship. You just do that, and you have that, and then that means that you are putting priority on your relationship, and you both of you respect that. Unless you are a doctor who is on call, who is going to do a heart surgery or something, but I think that our relationship has to be so much important to us that we have to be able to do those things. And then if your partner, if you've noticed certain things, you sit them down. Yeah. This is ABCD I've realized this week. Are you okay? Are you sick? Whatever is going on. So that your partner feel that you are so much interested in me. You've made that observation. You've taken time and you've spoken to me about it.
I would agree with you strongly. There.
Yeah, because we don't do that. And even because the reason why I said that if you observe something, you ask, because at times when you're observing, you may be observing the wrong things. You've assumed the wrong things. So in order not to assume, I've observed ABCD. Is that what is going on? And then once your spouse comes to that level, be truthful and either confirm it or put them straight and say, this is what is happening. I'm having challenges at work, whatever. So that when you come from work and you are moody, they know that I've not done anything. It's because of this pressure at work, this project this week. That is what is causing you.
The reason why I agree with you strongly is because you find that in today's society, we are plugged into things that distract us from what's right in front of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gone are the times when you would come home, sit around the table together, and you would all eat as a unit.
Yeah.
So you could talk through the energies, and you do seem down, you do seem a bit unhappy, and so on and so on. We are, with a screen 2 inches from our faces, so we don't really see the person that's on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
And we're so tuned into the likes and the views and the Facebook message and blah, 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 that the attention is way over there when the person who needs the energy is right in front of us.
Yeah.
So I do strongly agree that society now is driven by the E way of living.
So you think that
it can take you away from the person right in front of you.
Yeah.
And I realized to myself that even being on phones can be a bit of an addiction, and you do find that you spend more time
on the phone,
WhatsApp or whatever, than you would do just talking to your partner. How has your day been? What has happened today? What have you got on tomorrow? What have you achieved this week that you're proud of? What, that kind of thing. You don't really do that much nowadays. And I can say, I know for myself that I don't necessarily do it as much as I could or should do. Work comes in, you do sit on Instagram, you do all sorts, but what that means is the energy that you feed into your partner isn't necessarily as high as it could be, because you're spending the same energy
on other things.
On other things.
So you would say that in today's world, social media, with all, everything that comes with it, has made a lot of people put their relationships in the back burner.
As much as we are talking about negative, if you go on WhatsApp, make sure that as much as you're on WhatsApp, you are sending messages to your spouse, the pictures and everything, whichever social media you're using. Make sure that you are using also to really communicate with your spouse.
To keep them involved in what you're
involved
doing.
In whatever you do, we have to, because I want us to really be fair. Because as much as we're saying that there are times that face to face is also important, but if you don't have that opportunity, use whatever all the social media to really communicate with your spouse on a different level, so that you don't feel neglected. It's not your fault that you couldn't see him or her, but you communicate on all angles, so that by the time you come in, information has been shared, so that you just continue from where you left off.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So talking about social media and the effect and impact that it has on relationships.
Can you imagine just, I'm talking on WhatsApp, leaving like those who can sing, just read a poem on voice note, or just sing on a voice note and let your spouse just listen to it and stuff like that.
Romantic. Well, if you have just joined, this is the BEDTALK show. There is a call coming through. I'm going to take it before we go for the okay, all right, so we are going to take the ads right now, and we will be right back.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life.
Mixpiration with Bright every Sunday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. is just fun. It's exciting. It's a mix of contemporary R&B and pop gospel music right here on ABN Radio. Enjoy great themes every Sunday evening with Bright on Mixpiration, a blend of great inspiring songs just for your Sunday evening relaxation. Tune in from 6 to 8 p.m. this and every Sunday. They're on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. Work it.
Are you a business owner? How well do people know your business and what do you have to offer? How about telling them in your own words? ABN Radio is giving you the opportunity to tell your business story. Share information about your products and services. Tell us about the amazing positive reviews your business has had and invite new clients to try them out for themselves. Call our business hotline on 0755 7042 407 to register your interest. My Business Story is a new infomercial radio segment coming soon on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
This is your girl Diana Hamilton and you're listening to ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station. I love this station.
Back to the BEDTALK show. We are live on ABN Radio. So I have Lydia back on the line. Lydia, what have you got for us again?
Just to say that Ben and Selassie are
Mo.
right. Communication is very
Mo
important.
and Selassie, you mean?
Yeah, and we also have to make time for each other. You see, I always tell my friends, you have to treat your spouse like your best friend. It's like most of the time we treat our spouses like they are strangers. You get me? We should have time for each other. We have to tell each other what we need from one another. And one important thing Selassie said was the nonverbal communication. We really have to be observant, because sometimes, like those of us from Africa, we are not as liberated like Selassie is. You see, so you have to sort of if you can't use words, then you can use actions.
Yeah.
So we have to make time. Like Ben and Selassie rightly said,
Mo.
we should use our phones. Like I tell my friends, when I get home from work and my husband is at home, if you call me, I will not pick up. My friends are aware.
Oh, wow.
I will not pick up. Yeah.
That is discipline.
Yeah. And I tell them, unless it's a matter of life and death, don't call me.
Sharp.
And they will know
I have
that.
to say,
I will not pick up.
I agree, because I kind of use the same process myself. Beyond a certain time, I try to not take calls from friends and so on, because I try and keep my energy focused on the house, home, family.
Exactly.
So I try to put, you know, the external people out to myself. I often get calls, I just ignore them, because I want to stay available to
Your family.
my house and home.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And you get friends who say, "Oh, you're not the only one who is married." Let them say that. At the end of the day, it's you want your marriage to go well. You want to invest in your relationship.
Yeah.
We need to make time for each other.
That is
So that's
amazing.
my contribution.
Wow, thank you so
you.
much, Lydia. I think it's a very good point that you've made, because I always say to people that do not let your friends prophesy into your relationship. Don't let them give you all the negative, what have you, oh, you're not the only one that's married and all that, you know, jazz. It does not work. You know, do what works for your relationship, what makes you happy, what makes your partner happy. And I think that, yeah, together there would be a very happy home.
And like you rightly said, we shouldn't be listening to our friends. You shouldn't even be telling your friends about what is going on between you and your partner.
No.
You get me? My friend said I'm secretive. I said there's nothing to tell.
Yeah, but what is it to
There's
do with
nothing
them?
to tell.
If you have your relationship and you're with your partner, that is yours and your partner's business.
Exactly.
So the secret should be between you and your
Yeah,
partner.
but you know, women are fond of telling their friend, "Oh, my husband did this," and the friend, her husband might be doing the worst thing to her, but she make you feel like, "Oh, your husband is a bad man."
Yeah,
You get me?
unless you are saying something positive and good about your husband, don't go out with negative information. You know, because I always say that when you have forgiven your husband, other people are holding that grudge against him. So you don't tell anybody. You don't wash your dirty linen out there. You know, if it's something good that would encourage the other person, then by all means share that with them. But if it's negative, I think that it's not unnecessary to actually talk about them. So I think you're doing the right thing, Lydia. Well done. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll call back again.
Please do.
Bye.
All right, bye for now.
I agree with Lydia's comment. I think you find that sometimes the energy from people outside of your relationship can be the thing that breaks your relationship.
True.
So if you maintain the connection with your partner, you do communicate, you do talk, you do go through your trials and tribulations together, without, you know, my friend Jennifer said, then suddenly it's you and your partner against the world, as opposed to you, your partner, and Jennifer. And Jennifer is on your partner's side against you, or vice versa.
Or
So
Jennifer's husband did this for her, and you haven't done that. I mean, no.
Yeah, but suddenly you're comparing your relationship to someone
That's
else's
the thing,
relationship. And
which
then
is so wrong.
That isn't fair, because you're two different people, or four different people in two different relationships, and then how you live your life is how you live your life.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you so much, Lydia. We always appreciate your call, and I think that was a very good point. Hopefully that someone has taken that tip for their relationship as well. So hold on, you know, maybe create a time where you say that I'm not picking up any calls unless it's a matter of, you know, life and death. And then make sure that your relationship, you channel most of your energy towards your spouse. Amazing contribution. Thank you so much. So you are listening to the BEDTALK show. We are live on ABN Radio, UK, London's Afropolitan station. So what are some of the things to do to jumpstart that sexual chemistry within, you know, between spouses, especially when it looks like things are on the low? What can people do to kind of jumpstart their sexual connection?
I would say that, have you come to the realization that that is what is happening? Because at times things are going on in our relationship and we don't acknowledge it.
Naturally, if you're not having sex for 3 months, you notice that
I'm not having sex for 3 months, but I'm not bothered. I'm okay.
It's 3 months long for a woman. It's 3 months from a female perspective. Is 3 months a long period of time?
A week, in some a week may be long.
I think it depends on the woman and where their sex.
No, I think
it depends on the woman and where, you know, how their sexual libido is at the moment. I think we change from time to time. And some women,
at 40 plus, they are saying that their sex drive is very high.
Yes. And it's so true. You know, most women, when they hit 40, I think their sex drive, you know, go high. And so you've got to work it out. You've got to work the woman out.
So the fact is that what I'll say is, if you come to the realization we're not having enough sex, or we're just hooking up, and just having sex and there is no intimacy, there is no passion, then if you come to that realization, then you have to talk. Be as honest as you can with each other.
Definitely. But to go back to Adjo's point, I think there's a lot to be said for, well, it's kind of both of your points. Sensual touching. Not necessarily groping or anything, but just a palm on the small of your back. Just showing that connection. Going out of your way to provide things for your partner, to show that you care. Because it isn't necessarily a physical thing. You can emotionally do things, or you can do things for your partner that drive them
being emotionally available.
Yeah. Which helps them to feel that you actually do feel a certain way towards them.
Wow. There's a call coming through, so I'm going to pick that call up. Hello, good evening. This is the BEDTALK show. Who am I talking to?
Hi, good evening. It's me, Dr. Lillian.
Hi, Dr. Lillian. You are live on ABN Radio. So, yes, tell us what you want to say.
I just joined in the middle, so I don't know if I'm on the right track. But all I can say is I think it's not all about like having sex, but I think also doing things together and communicating with each other. You need to you can actually, as a woman, I'll make sure that maybe you change your bedroom. That really appetites a man, because if you do something for a long time, you just feel like you're bored of it. So maybe you can try to make over in your bedroom, change the color, just change the position of the bed. And also, some people, men put off the way someone will come dressed as if he's in snow. So if I'm ready for you, and the way you put on your hood on and the way you dress, I think both of us need to know the dress code in the bed. It matters.
I'm loving it.
So if it's transparency, it's transparency. No jeans in the bed, right?
No, because look at it. I'm so ready in my bed, or let's say I'm in the sofa. I'm dressed in this sexy way, and then I put my candles, I've made the mood, everything is on, and then you come in with these jeans. Some of them will not put them off. I'm not saying everyone.
Who is getting into your bed with jeans on?
Oh, I bet you. It looks like some people do. It's true.
And a woman, you're really ready, you all this, you've made a nice dinner, nice candles, he comes in. Well, you surprise him, but then he's not making effort. So I think also we communicate together, like how I ended in someone saying communication. So for me, I'll tell you that it appears to me I'm putting in more effort, baby. And I wonder
well done.
Because I feel like every time you come in this, try to appetize me, invite me in, and then I'll come in. Because at the end of the day, communication is very important, because he might actually not know, maybe he's doing it, but even he doesn't know. But however, I think you find someone so sweet, it's a flower on the bed, and you just overlook it. I think men also have to put in effort.
Well, no, both sides have to put in effort. Definitely.
Yeah, because and also it doesn't have to be in the bedroom only. You can
exactly.
go to the kitchen, in the corridor, just lie on the sofa, touch her back, just kiss her neck, just do different things, lie together naked on the bed or on the carpet or in the park.
Dr. Lillian, it looks like my sex tip last week worked for you. You just said lie on the couch. I think, yes, it's the couch frenzy, right? Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so that's my contribution.
Please give us a call again if you think of anything.
Oh,
wow. Thank you too. Bye for now. Whoa, so that was Dr. Lillian giving us a bit more tips of what you can do.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in the bedroom alone, because then it becomes boring.
It doesn't have to be sexual at all.
It does. I like that.
Let's start from that point. Just because you're talking about satisfying and pleasing your partner, keeping the spark alive.
Yes.
So the foundation of that shouldn't always be take off your clothes and lie down or do something that's in any way sexual. It's the emotional side. It's the doing things that show the love and the care and the concern and the passion and so on. Because you could easily do certain things you know, go out and buy some roses and sprinkle rose petals somewhere and so on. That open up a window to thinking or feeling a
people
certain
even give excuse just looking at each other. When was
Just
the
looking
last
at
time you
each
put
other.
the screen down and just look at each other?
look at each other.
Feast your eyes on each other and just enjoy. You know, when you used to date and you used to sit at the table over the bottle of Coke or whatever and just hold each other's hand and just feast on each other.
I think even the
Drink it
little
all in.
the little cup of teas, even you know, like when you've come into the house and he or she's made you that little cup of tea. I think
Hugging even each other after the cup of tea, just hugging it, staying in that close embrace for just a bit of 15-20 seconds more.
Because sometimes it's as simple as just feeling your partner's heartbeat on your chest. That kind of thing. Because you feel the connection. You feel the warmth of their body in your embrace. And at the same time, they feel, sometimes, the strength of your arms wrapped around them, holding them.
Yeah.
But those kind of things make you feel needed.
does that give you a bit of security? It's
Reassurance.
Like, yeah,
security.
reassurance.
Yeah,
It's
reassurance.
reassurance.
Because if I say I love you, how do I express it? I say I love you, I don't show that I care. I don't get emotionally connected
It's
to you.
just words. It's just
words.
I love you.
As much as some people's love language, they would like to hear it, there has to be an addition. Demonstrative, be intentional. I love you and I just want to be in that embrace for longer. I love you and I'm thoughtful when it comes to your needs.
It's the thoughtfulness. It's the I love you and I will do certain things for you. Don't worry, you sit there, I will do that. And for you to sit back and watch, wow, he's doing
That
it.
even creates another level of...
another level of.
That is when later when you go into the bedroom, it's like all those pent up feelings. You just admire him doing that chore, whatever for you, or servicing that need. So it's like he just wants to rip the clothes off him and just get in there because the act of kindness.
Because those needs are some of the things I want to go into so that, you know, because sometimes we can just brush it and then people don't know exactly what, you know, we want them to do, we're telling them to do, we're suggesting, you know, and little things like we talked about, the little cups of tea, the little embrace.
No, let's say
here
both
and
of
there.
you've had a stressful day at work, but during your lunch time, your wife told you that ABCD happened at work. Both of you were tired.
Yeah. So let's see, we will come back to that in a very short while because we are going to take the news on the top of the hour. And when we come back, I want you to talk about, you know, how they can do or one can do those things.
Okay.
More news, more information. This is ABN News on the Hour.
From the Sky News Centre at 10, the FBI has admitted it didn't properly follow up on a warning about Florida school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz. It's emerged last month a person close to the 19-year-old told the agency about the potential of him carrying out a school shooting. 17 people died in Wednesday's massacre. Special Agent Robert Lasky has apologised.
The FBI remains dedicated to keeping the American people safe. On behalf of myself and over 1,000 employees of the Miami field office, we truly regret any additional pain that this has caused.
Meanwhile, the president has arrived in Parkland to meet victims and survivors. It's understood a convicted serial killer has confessed to the murder of a British woman in France 27 years ago. Joanna Parish from Gloucestershire was found dead in a river in Auxerre in 1990. Her family lawyer says Michelle Fourniret has appeared before a French judge and admitted to her murder. 13 Russians have been charged with interfering in the 2016 US presidential election. They're accused of using bogus social media postings and adverts to sway political opinion. Rod Rosenstein is the US Deputy Attorney General.
The defendants allegedly conducted what they called information warfare against the United States, with the stated goal of spreading distrust towards the candidates and the political system in general.
Oxfam's agreed to stop bidding for government funding until ministers are satisfied it can meet the high standards expected. It comes after claims some workers paid vulnerable women for sex while delivering aid in Haiti. In sport, Chelsea safely avoided an FA Cup upset at home to Championship strugglers Hull. Last season's Premier League champions progressed to the quarter-finals with a 5-0 victory. Leicester joined them after a 1-0 win over Sheffield United. And Roger Federer's world #1 in the tennis. That's the latest. I'm Elizabeth Secker.
Your weekday mornings just got exciting. Tune into the new London City Show and get your day started on a happy note.
Happy mornings with Nayoka on the London City Show.
Wake up to a happy and exciting morning with me, Nayoka Wari, on the London City Show, 7 to 10 a.m. on ABN Radio.
Happy mornings with Nayoka on the London City Show.
The London City Show is brought to you by ABN TV, Sky Channel 235, UK's favorite black broadcaster, trailing exciting, compelling and informative programs. Visit abntv.co.uk to catch up with all of your favorite telenovelas.
I got caught in an addiction and I couldn't find my way out of that cardboard box.
It kept grasping onto me. Before I realised it, I couldn't stop using it.
Comes like a primal instinct. It's god-awful.
I needed a program that would save my life, and I found Narcanon.
Narcanon gave me my life back, 100%. Call Narcanon today at 01435 512 460. 01435 512 460.
It's very scary to get onto the property ladder. No, it's not. Yes, it is. 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 No, it's not.
Lay away your fears about the property market. Watch out for the new property and lifestyle show in association with On Point Property Limited, coming soon on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy UG Official. And right now, you're tuned into ABN Radio. Make sure you don't touch that dial. Stay tuned.
So yes, you are tuned into the to ABN Radio UK. Make sure you don't tap that dial. Just stay tuning. So yes, talking about jump-starting your sexual desire, relationship life within your relationship and your marriage. So jump-starting. And yeah, we have discussed quite a few interesting conversations. And I was asking Mo and Selassie about what are some of the things to do to jumpstart the sexual chemistry between spouses. You both kind of mentioned quite a few things: nonverbal touches, some of the things that you can do, also touching, sitting down, things that each other or each partner can do for the other spouse without, without grudge, with happiness, with love and with emotions. Yeah. Are there some others that we could just when we took the breath, I was talking about the little things like even massaging my foot when I'm back from work.
No, what I'm saying is that you have to be thoughtful. So I was painting a scenario where both of you work full time, but in the middle of the day your wife told you what was happening at work. So maybe she was so stressed about a situation. So you being the thoughtful and loving husband that you are, when you came home, maybe you started a dinner. And you just allowed her to relax and you served her and everything. That is really being thoughtful, because both of you are really tired. Yeah. But you went that extra mile, you dig deeper to put your needs aside, to really just minister to that need in her life, just to make her comfortable, comfort her because of the situation at work or something, to really make her happy. Those are some of the things. It will not be always, but because of you just want to tell your partner that you are so important to me. I love you so much, and just for today, I wanted to treat you like the queen that you are.
I'm going to change one word in what you said.
Yeah.
Not tell your partner, but you want to show your partner.
Oh, yeah, because it's demonstrative.
Because sometimes
sure.
it isn't about the verbal communication.
No,
sometimes
sure.
it is demonstrating something.
Demonstrating, yeah.
The only risk you have there is that you could go out and do that and it could be ignored or not acknowledged. But you should show that these.
But at the end of the day, if you are ignored, you've done it.
But if you've done it and it hasn't been received in the right way.
Because what do you mean by it's being received in the right way? At the end of the day, I wanted to do something for you. As to whether you acknowledge that I've done it or not, I've done it, end of. Yeah.
But the thing is, sometimes when you
for me, that goes into your love bank.
Yeah, but when you do it and it's not received, or you feel like what you've done is not appreciated,
it's a bit disappointing. But at the end of the day,
you though.
At the end of the day, it's not really about you. It's not really about you, because if you want to think like that, that means that we're not going to do anything good in our relationship. Because for me, it's better to do it, because that is when, if you come back to talk about your relationship, I was trying to do this ABC the other time I did this, because I realized that you were tired. Mm-hmm. Because you've done it, you can make reference to it that this was how I was trying to demonstrate that I love you, or I cared about you. When you told me about the situation, that is why instead of cooking dinner, I took you out for dinner, because I realized that you were tired or whatever. because we have to do it. For me, personally, I've gone beyond that expecting that if I do something, somebody should appreciate it. I want to do it, and I do it.
But to me, you should do it because you want to do it.
I want to do it. So whether you appreciate it or not, I'm investing in my relationship. Today, you may not appreciate it, but later...
You might.
For the whole good of the relationship.
Because I always strongly tell, well, myself, my partner, my son, and so on, that it's important that you do things because you want to do them, not because someone's told you to do them. Because there's a balance between, or there's a respect for you put yourself out for me, as opposed to you did that because I told you to do it.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So I completely agree with you. It is important for you to put yourself out, do certain things for your partner, show them that they are important, show them that you do appreciate them.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll do that enough. I'll find out later.
What I want to talk about is time, making time for our relationship. Time. We are busy, work, everything, but let us make time. I don't know how your week run, how your day run, but at the end of the day, make some time for your relationship. It may not be a lot, but every day, make time. And also, let's work on our friendship, because as we grow in our relationship, we lose that friendship element. So we tend to dislike each other. We are married, but we don't like each other.
Yeah.
So let's work on our friendship. And also, let's go back to the traditional date nights.
See, all of these things feed into the spark, because the spark isn't just that immediate energy that you have.
You're right.
It's the, are you attentive towards me? Am I attentive towards you? Do we share that time? Do we talk? Do we communicate? Do we touch? Do we caress? Do we kiss? Do we cuddle? There's all sorts that culminates in, I want to do something to you that the kids can't see. the energy that feeds from the other things that you do does culminate in a certain area. But if you don't do certain things, if you're not careful, you could put yourself in a position where your partner resents you because you haven't given them that energy. I had an assistant once who once told me, and I was surprised when she told me this. She told me that in a relationship, you both have levels of energy. You both want to receive and to give levels of energy.
Yeah.
But if one person is receiving, they're not going to say anything. But the person who is giving the energy that is being received, their tank isn't being refilled.
No way.
But you'll find that soon enough, you're low and empty, whereas the other one's cup runneth over.
Yeah.
There has to be a balance of how much you give and how much you receive. In order for you to maintain a healthy view of the desire and lust and love and passion and so on, you have to receive energy and give energy.
It's not necessarily give and take, right? But it's just doing it.
You're not doing it to retain the same level that you had. But at the same time, you have to bear in mind that some people have an abundance of energy to give. Some people don't necessarily know what to do, what to give, how to give it. But it's the giving and the receiving. It's not necessarily how much, it's the fact that I am or that you are.
Yeah. So lastly, you did touch up on time. What about the couples or spouses that, work different shifts and stuff like that, and sometimes they don't even meet at home?
That is why I said in this country, everybody minimum, even those on 0 contract hours, we have off days, we have holidays.
Yeah.
We are working shifts. Personally, my husband and I, we work different shifts. So you have to be purposeful. You have to be intentional. 5 days a week, I've done this shift, my off day. What do I do on my off day?
What if he's working on that off day?
What I'm saying is that, so let's say that I said everybody have an off day, he's working. You have to make it in such a way that even if it's taking a day off out of a holiday to meet your partner in that week, you have 4 weeks holiday. Even I said those on 0 contract, according to the rules in this country. I've taken my holiday for us to meet. You have to do something. You cannot give that excuse that we are not meeting. Maybe you took that job on a certain contract because you were so desperate for a job. After you've served your probation and everything, is there a chance for you to change your hours? If that's not possible for me, I would want to take my holiday and invest it in my relationship. I like to take 2 days and then we do something. So that if I know that every quarter or every fortnight or every 2 months or whatever, I'm going to take a day off to do something with my spouse, I look forward to it.
Yeah, I think that definitely is important.
Because we shouldn't say that I'm taking my holiday and I'm traveling alone to no. Because we've not have time to meet. What are we doing about it?
Yeah.
You discuss it because of A, B, C, D. at the end of the March, I'll book a weekend away, and you make yourself available.
Yeah.
So
So
then
that's
we do it.
the two of you can share that time together.
Yeah.
But even if it was over a short period, let's say it was over a week,
Yeah.
you could still do something where even if you, as you said, that you work a 5-day shift and your partner, so on and so on and so on, you could still be in a position where you leave a little care package, a little note, a little present, a little something under a pillow, or you send a loving message or something, just to show that despite the energy over that 5-day period, the thought of you is still there.
Yeah.
And the I have gone out and done something for you, so that even if you've done your 5-day shift and then, you know, he does his shift, so then you are ships in the night to an extent, you can still leave something that he can find.
You can still do things in that craziness of your shifts and everything. So that's where social media comes in. The traditional buying cards and writing notes, taking notes, everything. I mean, we should use everything available to
Every
us.
tool in your arsenal.
Everything available to us. I mean, preparing the nice sandwiches, leaving it in the fridge with a note behind on top of it, and then for him to take to work and everything. We shouldn't just throw away some of the things that we have learnt over the years. Yes, there are modern things, but there is, I believe, I mean, nowadays I just went to buy a bunch of blank cards and just writing again, and it's just fun.
Yeah, some people don't just throw them away, but some people just don't know. So I think it's good that we are talking about it, because you give people ideas. Like you just said, you've bought some blank cards that every so often you can write a sweet note and leave it. Someone has no clue whatsoever. Okay, so there is a call coming through. We will pick that up shortly. But there is the school of thought that sometimes the other woman or the other man on the side can secretly spark up dwindling sex desire. Is that true? Is that something that you have had?
The other woman on the side or the other man on the side can rekindle.
There is that school of thought. Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
But
can
is that
they rekindle? Because I have a thought that most people don't agree in, and I think that sometimes, now don't take this to mind. Now I'm not talking about me here.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you look at ladies of the night, you could have a couple where the spark has gone or the energy is gone, and the man may go to a club where the women do God knows what. Now, that woman could be keeping the man's energy in a certain way, whereby he might go home and behave a certain way to this point because he's suddenly energized and whatnot.
Okay.
So I can understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that scenario is necessarily right, but I can see how that can reinvigorate and re-engage the mind, and so you're thinking and feeling a certain way, which you then go home and transfer. But at the same time, both people need to have the energy. So if one person is receiving that invigoration and the partner isn't, the partner could still be at home, you know, libido low, without having been inspired. And then when you come in with your energized self, how are you going to then persuade your partner to meet your level? You have to, in some way, do it together.
Yeah.
Having the external factor come in doesn't necessarily help. You still have that imbalance. Because then you will still have the question of, well, how do you, as someone who has the spark, then engage with someone who doesn't have the spark? Well, so that's a dangerous thing of having someone else be the person that drives you.
Well, yeah, but what is it called again? 20% or something like that. Anyway, so give us a call. Studio line is 020867073000. 020867073000. You could also call us on the mobile, which is 0788 7475 940. 07887475 and again, if you're calling from outside of the UK, you could give us a WhatsApp call on that same number, 07887475 So moving on. Interesting conversation, right? Jumpstarting your sexual life or your sexual, in your relationship. So somebody just called. You could give us a call again. Okay, you could give us a call again. I'm going to mention this number again, the mobile number again is 0788 7475940. 0788 7475940. So talking about jumpstarting your sexual life. We've spoken about how to jumpstart that sexual chemistry between spouses. Now, we've got another caller, Dr. Lillian. We will pick up that call and we would continue. Dr. Lillian, thanks for calling again. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Dr. Lillian, if you're calling, if you are listening, please call again. If you are listening, please call again. You could also call us on 0788747590 or 0208670730. Now, moving on. How does one get their sexual desire back, especially if they are on the low? What are some of the things to do to get it? Are there some foods that they can even eat to bring that sexual relationship back?
I think the first challenge you have is recognizing that you're in that position in the first place. Because you could be complacent enough to think that you're okay, when really and truly you're walking through, you know, a zombified state of existence where you don't realize unto yourself that you're not behaving in a certain way. You're not reactive. You're not reacting in a certain way. So the first things first is you need to check yourself. Are you receiving the energy within yourself? Are you aware of your desires or your drives that you should have? Are you, you know, is work having an impact on you whereby you're not showing the energy that you feel that you should be showing? That's the first thing. I think then you have the challenge of, well, how do I go about addressing that myself? How do I apply myself to my partner? How do I snap myself out of certain things to show my partner that affection and love? But on the flip side, on the vice versa, you do have your partner saying, well, he or she isn't behaving a certain way. How do I say? It's always a two-fight. It's always both of you have a role to play in driving yourself towards a certain destination.
Right. I have a question here. Someone says, Dr. Mamiya, thank you so much. That's all the way from Ghana. And she's saying that what if one spouse is not ready to go through the time alone? What if it's only one person who is trying to spice up the relationship? So that is another thing. It's like both couple need to want to work on it. What are your thoughts on that, Celeste?
Today I was listening to something, and a couple who've been married for 50 years, and they said the secret was that they never fall out of love together at the same time. At times in a relationship, so far as one person is keeping that energy level, in as much as it's not good, it's better
than none of you.
None of you. Because if none of you is doing that, then that is when it's easy for you to go on the separation and a divorce line. But as you have the interest to keep that relationship, as you are watering and you are investing in that relationship, keep on doing it. But a time has to come that you have to call time out and have really a frank chat with that spouse. Are we ready to continue this thing called relationship, this thing called marriage? This is what has been going on, and this is what I've been doing. What do you think about it? Why? Is there an issue? How can I help you to address it? Are you willing for us to address it, or we should go our separate ways? At a point, it has to be as frank as that. Because for how long? Because at times, the giver, you get tired.
Like I said, you have a certain
get
amount of energy.
drained.
You get tired.
If you give all of your energy to the cause, but you're not receiving anything, or if you are supporting someone,
and at times if you're not very careful, it tends to affect you medically.
Wow.
Yeah, you can be stressed out. You can see physical symptoms of you being unhappy. The stress can lead to all sorts. Grey hairs, hair falling out, alopecia, all sorts.
So that is why I said you have to call a timeout. That you have to be as frank as you have to, because what are you doing in that relationship? Are you just wallowing, just floating? It's not good enough to endure a relationship.
But what do you do when there's that mismatched libido?
Talking about libido, as you said, you have to realize there is a problem. And so you have to know what the problem is. Is it medical, social, whatever is causing the problem? Emotional. Then you begin to address it together. You
have to pinpoint on the issue, you have to target it.
What is the problem?
Together, preferably. And then get over that mountain. If you can overcome that issue, then you'll find that the thing that is blocking that energy from being shared should be alleviated. So it is important to work together to identify and to tackle and deal with it. Otherwise, you'll find that you may quietly suffer in silence. You will not let your partner know, but that suffering is pulling you further down and preventing that spark or energy to be shared. So I completely agree with Selassie again. I agree with you quite a lot.
Yeah, but that suffering can also kind of weigh you down. It can actually be depressing.
Yeah. That is why you have to do it together, because you know that my spouse has a medical problem, A, B, C, D. He's seeking help or she's seeking help. So you know that this medication, this counseling section has an end result, and you are doing it together. Or you can even drive or go to the.
What if the situation is not medical? Yeah.
So mental or emotional.
Possibly.
Then this comes a point where you have to put yourself out to identify what your partner needs and work with your partner to do. If you love your partner and they're going through a mental or an emotional issue, you will put yourself out to understand what that mental or emotional issue is, and you will invest that energy to help build them up to understand what they're going through. So it's a problem shared. Let me understand what you're feeling. I want to try and help to lift some of that burden off of you where I can. But that again feeds into the whole, you put yourself out for your partner to do certain things for them selflessly. You're not doing it for the reward or for the gain. You're doing it because you want to support your partner in a certain way.
Wow. Anyway, do stay tuned. When we come back, we will be talking about some of the tips to get us a happy sex life. So we will be coming back right very soon.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart of the family ripped apart. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred or respect. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife and save a life. Quentin Slowly, supporting all family and young people.
The Discourse on ABN Radio, engaging our community with discerning conversation.
Join me, Esther Alade, every Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on The Discourse, where we will be redefining perspectives with authentic analysis.
Join The Discourse every Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on ABN Radio.
Are you a business owner? How well do people know your business and what you have to offer? How about telling them in your own words? ABN Radio is giving you the opportunity to tell your business story. Share information about your products and services. Tell us about the amazing positive reviews your business has had and invite new clients to try them out for themselves. Call our business hotline on 0755 7042 407 to register your interest. My Business Story is a new infomercial radio segment coming soon on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Okay.
This is ABN Radio.
It's really my type of music.
We play your genre of music.
Hi, welcome back. This is ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station. We are live. This is the BEDTALK show if you have only just tuned in. So talking about sexual jumpstarts, jumpstarting the sexual spark in your relationship. Here in the studio, I've got Selassie and Mo Bernard. So yeah, we have had a bit of an interesting conversation so far. Now, what I want, tips for a happy sex life. As I was saying, some sex lives have been very sad. So what tips can you give to people to get them excited in, their sexual relationships?
I would like to begin with, where are you having sex as a couple?
You mean where?
Where? As in location?
Yes. Is it in the same old boring bed?
Okay.
Because as Dr. Lillian said, we should invest in our room, changing the decor, changing the color and everything. It's important. Because if your room is your primary place of having sex, is it just on the bed? There are various angles, various places that you can have sex. And when it comes to your house, I believe that you should say hello to every room sexually.
You should say hello to every room
sexually, because in the living room, in the kitchen, on the wall, on the corridor, bathroom, everywhere. I mean, that enhances, because all those places you have to adapt new sexual positions. So it helps.
Yeah.
I think spontaneity is important. So
Yeah.
It is.
The same location and the same behavior or routine as Adriel flagged earlier on is something that you want to avoid. You do want to me, the desire and passion for your partner doesn't have a place, a time, or a location. It doesn't have anything like that. If you have a need for your partner at a certain point in time, then the need is the need. I'm not saying that you're going to please the need there and then, but if at that moment in time you feel a certain way, all you could do is just say, listen, I'm just letting you know that I feel a certain way right now. So the bus is a 10-minute ride home. Let's get the next bus. Or something. But even just saying something there and then, just to flag that energy is there. I'm feeling a certain way. Listen, yeah, the blood's flowing in a certain direction.
So what, you are in the car and you are feeling a certain way. What do you do?
You say,
do you wait?
Listen.
Do you get home? Do you park?
It depends. It depends on how both of you are. It depends on your preference.
You could argue it depends on how many CCTV cameras there are.
Yeah, because for me, once you are in the car, you are free to explore before you get to your destination.
I think it's important to react to the need that you have for your partner.
Yeah.
You shouldn't bottle yourself into time, location, position.
No.
You should be looking at different ways of doing things. Like, you could explore tantric sex, for example. You could just sit and hold hands.
So tell us a bit about tantric sex.
Boy,
Go a little bit into it.
I'm all ears, Mo.
What have I gotten myself into?
Come on.
We want to know.
Tantra isn't about the penetration.
It's about the touch.
It's about the touch. It's
sensual,
the energy.
right?
You can have tantric sex by just sitting together, cross-legged, facing each other, holding each other's hands, and just breathing at the same time. And you can do certain things that help you to connect and harmonize or synchronize yourselves. Tantra is known to help you to, well, with men, to reduce the amount of time that it takes, or rather increase, pardon me, for you to climax. So just by breathing and being patient and sharing that energy, not only do you suddenly re-energize the excitement and the desire and the allure and the want and passion, because you're holding yourself off. You're not just jumping into it. You're sitting there. You could spend half an hour just in that embrace. Just sharing that energy and still wanting, but holding yourself back until that moment comes when fireworks is fireworks.
So now, talking about tantric, can you climax with that?
Yes, you
without
can.
the penetration.
If you allow yourself.
You
Yeah.
You can. Because the excitement, the energy, and the drive, the passion that you feel still exacerbates the feeling, especially for women, because you have the emotional drive more so than men. Women have been known to sit down and just be touched and caressed in a certain way. And just the way that you're being caressed, just the way that you're breathing slowly, patiently, you know, just a soft stroke can lead to that energy.
I think every couple should practice it, because I think it's just beautiful. It's just it is, because that increases the level of intimacy, because wanting it and just holding back and just feasting on that energy and just exchanging that breathing and everything is really important. We've not talked about kissing today.
Yes. So how do one explore their feelings, including
I mean, we should
kissing?
kiss. I mean, all types of kisses.
Give us some.
I have a feeling you're going to go down the location route again.
No, I'm not going to go on the location, because there are certain places that you can really kiss very well, but they are just the peg on the cheek and just the peg on the hand. Or different types of kisses need to be explored in every relationship. Wherever you are, even if you are in church and you just feel like giving your spouse a kiss on the cheek or whatever on the lip, you have to be able to do it. We shouldn't limit ourselves.
No, you shouldn't.
We shouldn't. So I would also want to talk about our sexual position. We should just explore the positions. We should just do the boring old ones that we know. Our bodies are changing. We should just try to adopt new sexual position and just explore and see what works with us.
But part of the exploration is reinvigorating that spark, because you're no longer just doing the same things. You are trying a different way of practicing. You are trying a different pressure, a different touch, a different. You could bring, dare I say, toys or things into the bedroom.
Tools.
You could bring tools,
sexual
into the bedroom,
tools,
which help to change the way and the why and the how. The do you stand? Do you sit down? Do you lay down? Are you on your knees or not? So positions are important to help invigorate the excitement of what you're doing. But obviously, if you keep doing somersault and cartwheels and you're just changing, and then you're going from having sex and being intimate to doing something completely different.
Okay, but there's a call coming through, so I'll pick up that call and we'll go from there. Hi, good evening. This is the BEDTALK show. You are live. Who am I talking to?
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes.
Who am I talking to, please?
My name is Joe.
Hi, Joe. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Okay, I take it you're listening to the program and you want to contribute something?
Yes. I've been listening to this program for a very long time now.
Bless you. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, what have you got for us this evening?
Yes, the discussion you are making. Yes, I just want to contribute a little bit.
Please, go on.
Yes, when it comes to the issue of a man and a woman, the stages where they enjoy themselves most is when they just get married.
Okay.
Yes, like when there are no children. The children are not there to disturb you.
Yeah.
Then you and the woman alone, you can do it anywhere. Even in the toilet, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, anywhere. Because I compare myself when I just get married newly. Yes, we do it everywhere.
Wow.
Good for you, Joe.
Because we really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a stage whereby the children start coming in, it's very hard.
True.
Very hard to do it anywhere.
True, but I think you can still sneak in somewhere and and do stuff. But I think it's a good contribution, and I will bring that to the panel in a minute, so you will hear us talking about it once the phone line goes off. But yes, thank you so much for that contribution. We will be talking about it in a minute.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. So yes, that was Joe, and actually that was a question that I was going to come on to. That in the event of having young kids, how do you factor dealing with all that in your sex life? Earlier on, Mo, you did mention being spontaneous, but then in the event of kids, they are everywhere. How do you be spontaneous?
You can still be spontaneous,
you
but you can't be, but you will not act on it. But when it comes to kids, you have to have a routine for your children as early as you can, because at the end of the day, you have a relationship that you don't want your relationship to suffer. As soon as you can, get the children out of your bed, settle them into their own bed as quickly as you can, and get them into a routine so that you and your spouse know that after story time, you put the kids to bed, you have that time for yourself.
Yeah.
But do you even need to do that? Do you need to wait until the kids have gone? Because to me, even if your partner is there and the kids are running around doing something, that doesn't stop you from touching and saying, listen.
No, I know you do all that. That's being spontaneous, but the end result,
you can still leave a signal there. You can
so you've done all that. You've done all that.
Yeah.
So in order to go to the next stage, that is when the kids need routine so that you complete your night successfully.
Yeah, I think even once in a while, even when the kids are watching TV, you could say, hey, you guys sit down quietly. Yeah, sit down quietly. I'm just doing something in the garage, you know, and then quickly go in there, do one, holding the door,
I'm
peeping
just
out.
doing something, nudge, nudge, wink.
Yeah.
You know,
the
peeping
element of being caught by the kids also
That
makes
is
sex
even
very
fun.
Excitement. The possibility of being caught. But I don't think having kids should be a factor that prevents you from doing. I agree. You do need a time where the child element ends and then you have adult time. Because I always believe that for come 8 o'clock in the evening, the children things you're done. Your TV or whatever is whatever. Past 8 o'clock, that's me. If I want to stop and chill and watch TV myself, or if I want to explore my partner, that's my time. So there is a time when you do need to do things. But I think even when, I'm not saying that you should do things when the kids are back. That comes across as sounding quite wrong. But I'm sure you know what I mean.
No, I know. But you set the tone. You said start with the touches, and even
you can let your partner know right now. I'm feeling a certain way. You
and
change
that is
nappy
why
and
you
put
have
them to
pet
bed.
names for your vagina and your penises. You have pet names, and you are communicating, and you were talking about them in front of the kids, and it would just be like a normal conversation. But you know what you mean?
Yeah, because what you're doing there is you're
So
still
something
contributing
like
to the spark.
Mickey is looking out for you.
But those kind of things still contribute to that energy and the spark.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is even when your partner can be bogged down with the chores of having to do the nappy changing and the cleaning and the washing and the blah blah blah, and you're helping and you're sweeping away. Even in that environment, I still want you. I can see you.
Yeah,
I
I feel you, because there was this point that in church I could just see my husband going about his duties in church, and I could just look. He looked so cute, and just in the middle of a service, something just popped in my mind, and I just loved it.
Oh
yes.
So what did you do?
There is no restriction on when you're going to find your
What
partner
did you do
desired.
then?
Oh, I just sent him a text message in the middle of the service. Yes.
It's like, I will show you a thing or two when we get
I
home.
just said you look very delicious. That's all I just said. Because
Okay.
it's
That's respectful.
because for me, I've grown to this level, and like I feel like whatever, it's my partner, he's mine. We belong to each other, so we just need to enjoy each other. I'm not going to wait.
Yeah. And that's important because it's
It
for
is.
you
Absolutely
to
important.
do what you've just done, which keeps him aware that, boy, you know what, she's over there. She's 5 pews back, but she's feeling me right now.
Yeah.
Let me go and do another lap.
And I think it keeps them excited as well, just knowing that this is how my woman or my man is thinking about me right now.
But all of that is contributing to that spark. It's contributing to the energy that is inside.
Because for me, if I don't feel that, I'll be worried, because I just still want to feel that. Because I still think about those days, the early stages of our relationship. So I still want to be able to feel that, to look at you and I said, "Oh, you look ravishing," and the rest. It's really, for me personally, it is important.
It is ridiculously important.
It is important.
To tell your partner is important, and to receive those words is important.
Yeah.
Because you need to feel, as a woman, you need to feel sexy. As a man, you need to feel handsome. And to be honest, you don't want to be in a position where you as a woman are being told that you're sexy by someone else. Yeah. And as a man, you're being told that you're handsome by someone else. You want your partner. That's where the energy should come from. And that's where you got the whole desire and the passion and the drive and so on.
Yeah.
The ripping clothes of each other.
I was just going to say that, but I thought I'll get in trouble for saying that.
No, we need to hear it all. This is adult conversation, so we are not holding back here.
I'll pull the curtain back.
We are not holding back here. So anyway, when we come back, we will be talking about, how one can experience optimal pleasure. And also we will be talking about,
for you.
Yes, we will also be talking
Why
about
are you putting that on my back?
what kinds of sex can heighten pleasure and bring back that spark in a relationship.
This is for you guys.
So
I'm taking
we
notes
will
of
be
this.
right back. Keep your
Optimal
dials
pleasure.
locked in.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life.
It's very scary to get onto the property ladder.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
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 No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not.
Lay away your fears about the property market. Watch out for the new property and lifestyle show in association with On Point Property Limited, coming soon on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Are you a business owner? How well do people know your business and what you have to offer? How about telling them in your own words? ABN Radio is giving you the opportunity to tell your business story. Share information about your products and services. Tell us about the amazing positive reviews your business has had and invite new clients to try them out for themselves. Call our business hotline on 0755 7042 407 to register your interest. My Business Story is a new infomercial radio segment coming soon on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
It's Fuse, it's your boy Fuse ODG. Wherever you are in the world, make sure you are listening to ABN Radio.
Welcome back to the BEDTALK show with me, Ajua. We are live on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station. I'm talking about jumpstarting your sex life. Studio numbers for you to call in to contribute, or if you've got any questions, or, if you've been experienced enough and you feel that you can add something to what we are saying or discussing in here, please feel free to give us a call. Numbers are 0208 670 7300. 0208 670 7300. You could also call on 0788 7475 940. 0788 7475 940. So talking about jumpstarting relationship and all that jazz that comes with it, how can someone experience optimal pleasure?
Selassie.
Over to you, Selassie.
I think it's unfair for me to do that. I think there's a question around what you define as pleasure. Because bear in mind, people find pain to be pleasurable. So what do you define as pleasure? But then you have to also be in tune to what your partner finds pleasurable. Because that may very well be tickling for a prolonged period. It may very well be the lack of penetration and just prolonged hugging and neck kissing and stroking and so on. It could be licking an earlobe. What do they find pleasurable? And then it's honing in on whatever it is that flicks their switch, and then going to town on that area. Because bear in mind, if you are talking about your partner's pleasure and not yours, it's not about how long you lick that earlobe or you kiss that earlobe or you stroke for, but it depends on how long they are on the receiving end of that energy. So
that
pleasure it's in the eye of the person on the receiving end.
Whoa.
Tailoring your approach to that person.
No, I think that you've actually hit the nail right where it should be. Amazing. Selassie, have you got anything to add to that?
What I would just want to add is that is when we are having sex or we are pleasuring each other, we need to communicate.
Yeah.
Because whatever your spouse is doing, is he or she hitting the right spots?
I think you should have the communication before you even get between the sheets. Let's say that's if there
so
are
that
sheets
communication
involved.
has been had, but as you're doing it, maybe it's not going on very well.
Yeah.
So you need to fine tune it. Maybe the touches are too rough.
It depends on how you fine tune, because that fine tune could lead to the frustration of, I'm not doing it properly. I'm not doing it well. And then suddenly you're trying to do certain things to tweak or to change the way that you interact with your partner. So you have to understand how you're contributing.
It's like, oh, you want it faster, you want it slower, you want it to the left, you want it to the right, or something. Because if it's not going on very well, you should say it. Because if you prolong it, it becomes annoying and boring and irritating.
I completely
So this is where sexual communication comes in.
Yeah.
If you're not enjoying it, say, oh, maybe I prefer that you touch it. But I think that sometimes it's the way you say it too could be a put off completely. And
yeah, if you're doing the do.
Yeah.
Having sex,
and you're just,
penetrative sex.
I forgot we're all adults here. If you are having sex and your partner just abruptly stops you, says, no, I don't like that.
It's not. It's not. I don't like that.
The energy and the effort would just drain.
Yeah.
Whereas if your partner just says, no, just move over a little bit.
Yeah.
Just put your leg over here. Just do blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's
that. We have to learn that act of talking and communicating.
Yeah, but in a way that respects the fact that your partner is trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without belittling or diminishing their effort.
Yeah.
So yes, you do need to communicate and say, no, just twist over a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Just a little bit slower. But in a certain way that doesn't take away from the energy that you're experiencing at that moment in time.
Yeah.
Just being respectful of, you know what, I still want this to carry on.
Yeah.
I don't want to turn around and say anything that's going to lead to this just stopping. So let me very softly just...
Yeah. I think it's okay. Yeah. You know, maybe touch it a little bit harder, a little bit softer.
It's keeping the energy going.
Yeah. As I always say, I think it's the how that communication comes about. It's the how you put it across in the middle of, you know, touching, caressing and what have you. Try as much as you can not to completely turn the light out.
Yeah, because you don't want to say something that totally blows out the candle.
That's it.
And then suddenly you have two people that are ridiculously frustrated, energy, want to do so much, but the moment has passed. Because that doesn't mean that the energy is past. That moment.
Yeah.
So you're then left pent up. What do you do with that?
So I think we have to learn how to talk.
Frustrating.
When we having sex, we have to learn. It's an act we have to learn. So I mean, our listeners, just have a quick think. How do you talk? I mean, if you want the best out of a sexual relationship, if you're having sex, how do you talk?
I think
is you're talking. Is it a 10 off or a 10 on? Think of it, and
I'm more interested in what shouldn't I do? Because being told what I do well, okay, flattery is all well and good, but understanding what I don't do well tells me how I can improve myself.
Yeah, because I think that even if in the act you don't want to say anything, when you finish and you've climaxed and you are just lying and soaking in each other's sweats and everything, enjoying your nakedness, you can just say, you don't really, when you did that.
But I don't think it stops there. I don't think even though you've had that climax moment, that's the point where you just turn around and...
No.
Right,
What?
there you go.
No,
finished now.
What I'm saying is that you were still in that. You were still embraced. You were still caressing each other and everything. So, no, you know... When you did the A, B, C, D, you know, it felt a certain way. Because for me, I think there has to be a point that we have to evaluate what we've done, what worked and what did not work. I don't know whether you agree with me or not, but if it's not working, that message has to be sent across. It didn't work.
Yeah.
But you have to try these things to find out if it doesn't work.
So we tried it didn't work. So we're not going to try it again. We're going to try the next one.
Sometimes you can, by all means,
jump on the roof.
You can also try it again because they say what practice makes man perfect. So if I want my
perfect,
or woman,
man and woman.
Well, there is man and woman too. So I think it embraces both of it. You know, but yeah, if I want my toes kissed and sucked, you know, you've got to learn to do it. If we do it once and it doesn't work, it doesn't mean don't do it again. By all means, we can try again. You know, so I think these things, you can't just try something and shelve it unless both of you decide that, you know what, it didn't come, it was a mess, we won't do it again. But then if the other party is still willing to try, I think by all means, give it a go.
Talking about toes and feet today, I really get the message.
Anyway, moving on. What kinds of sex can heighten, pleasure and bring back that spark in a relationship?
What kind of sex?
Yes, we're speaking about quickies.
Oh,
wait,
okay.
The question is, what type of sex can heighten?
Yes, that pleasure.
I think for a woman. I think mainly when the woman is on top, we heighten the pleasure.
Okay.
Because the penetration is very deep, and the woman can thrust as deep, as gentle, as slow how she wants it. So for women, I think cowgirl, reverse cowgirl really works for women.
So we're talking about positions right now.
And for me, that's what the pleasure. And also, for women, even in the acts, they still want to be touched. They still want to be kissed. They still want things to be done. It's not like you are having they want every part of their bodies to be engaged.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Mo, have you got anything else to add to that? Because I've got here sneaky sex, for instance. So sneaky sex is what we're talking about, children, kids, you know. So when the kids are watching TV or doing something, you know, you could quickly, or even when they are upstairs, you know, they're in the bathroom having their, you've sent them up to go and have their shower. You could just even by the corner of the stairs, have a sneaky one, because you know, whilst you're doing it, you're just checking up the stairs to make sure they're not coming downstairs.
I'll expand on Selassie's point,
which is,
and say that the positions and so on are important.
The positions are important too.
Pace is important as well.
Pace.
Because what you do not want to do is just go hell-bent for leather. You need to pace yourself and take your time. Because you don't want to rush yourself to the point where you force a climax. You want to bring to the brink of and then stop. And then gradually wind down before you go back again. So that it's important to engage in a certain way where the energy levels are allowed to peak and trough and lengthen and be lengthened out. If you just go for a quick wham bam thank you ma'am, then are you getting the most pleasure? Are you winding that coil up to the point where when the spring does pop, it's the strongest spring that it can be? So pace, to me, take your time. Don't rush. And even if there are moments when you do rush for a couple of seconds, you stop, go back down again, and then pace yourself all over again. So
it's just like a heartbeat, up and down, up and down.
So it's important to, you know, the same way how you would tease your partner and get them to feel a certain way before you got to the actual engaging in anything part. You take your time while you're actually engaging.
Mo, I think this requires a lot of self-discipline for a lot of people. It's that holding back. It's that, you know.
The self-discipline is the thing that helps to wind you up emotionally as well. It's you having the capacity to pause yourself. It's you having the capacity to say, no, let me stop, bite my lip or my finger, and pace myself. It's you being able to tell and say, you know what, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, where I'm going, but I don't want this to stop just now. And if I keep doing what I'm doing now, then it's going to stop. So let me just pause and slow down a little bit so I can get at least another 10 minutes out of this.
Wow, I am hoping that a lot of you are really listening to what Mo just said, because I think that is so important. Because I mean, I beg to say that men sometimes will just let it go, and then we women will be hanging in the middle because we were just about. But then that pacing didn't happen.
This comes back to the drive between men and women. If women have the emotional drive and men have the necessity, the need, then the goals of each partner, of each person, is different.
That's why foreplay is so important. Quality, good, prolonged foreplay.
People always say people forget
foreplay.
Foreplay, afterplay, in the middle play.
Because afterplay can lead to additional intimacy, which then leads to some more
afterplay is also there, because when I painted a scenario where you are enjoying each other nakedness, rubbing off in each other's sweat, enjoying the nakedness and your nakedness. That is when there can also be afterplay. But for most women, foreplay is very good quality, prolonged foreplay. It's important.
Good quality.
Good, knowing what you're doing. Knowing what you're doing and doing it well, because foreplay is not just rubbing your hands like, I mean, just roughly as if you're cleaning the worktop. It has to be quality, gentle touches, the strokes, the fang, what are you using, and everything.
It has to be passionate and thoughtful.
Passionate and emotionally filled, and it has to be intense and everything.
Is this where you have the divide and difference between sex and making love?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, Mo, going back, when you were talking about pacing yourself up and everything else. Now, sometimes the woman doesn't want to lose that momentum. What do you do? Because now you are trying to pace yourself, but the woman is enjoying what is going on and don't want to lose that momentum.
That's why you go on top and satisfy yourself.
So the woman wants, but then there's a question of how the guy pauses himself.
Yeah.
There comes a moment in time when you do have to kind of show that lion in the bedroom, when the manly streak comes in. When you do have to be a little bit commanding, a little bit domineering, a little bit controlling. And sometimes that means restraining without looking at all the things that are going around in the news with blokes that are doing blah 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 and whatnot. But then applying yourself and restraining and stopping and pausing and teasing can be important. But then that's a man taking it upon himself to physically stop something and then slow the pace down a little bit before going back to whatever she was enjoying or being engaged in that was getting her energy and emotions up a certain way.
Amazing. So we've got just a couple of minutes left. Final words, 30 seconds. What can, summarize everything? What can one do to jumpstart their relationship, in like 30 seconds?
Share time, spend time, communicate, touch, caress, Selassie. Not saying you're one of them, but over to you.
What I would like to say is that nurture your relationship, invest in your relationship. Make time for each other. Don't just assume that your relationship is going to blossom. What are you investing? It takes time. Go on dates nights and do things to show each other that I love you.
To show your partner that one, you love them, two, that they're important, and three, that they are the center of your sexual desire. That your energy, the thing that you want the most at any moment in time, is them. And show them. Tell them.
Tell them, show them, act upon it.
Amazing. Mo, I think you need to come again. I just want to give my sex tip for this evening. It's one that I have called binding ecstasy. So what I mean by that is that the woman lies on the side with her legs slightly bent at the knees and spreads them a bit wide open. Now, the man lies on his side too, behind his woman or behind the lady. He puts one leg on her hips and penetrates into his madam from the back. With his hand, the man caresses her breasts as well. He can also be kissing his partner's neck at the same time if she wants that. The woman can put her hand on his thigh and gently stroke and caress it too. The naked bodies are in close contact with each other and promise both partners a sea of tenderness and pleasure. To have sex and caress each other at the same time is the highest form of pleasure. That is what I think. We've got Lydia on the line. Lydia, we've only got like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
so
fine. Just to say a very great show. Thank you.
Oh, bless you.
Always. And Mo, you are amazing.
Thank you
amazing.
so
You
much.
have to come back again.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much for listening. Bye for now. So that was Lydia. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think it has been a great show. Thank you, Mo, for your time. Thank you, Selassie. And I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has tuned in. I need you to spread this far and wide. So make sure that you tune in again next week and send the information out, about the BEDTALK show. Tune in tomorrow for all the programs we've got here for you. Gospel Connect, Weekend City Show, the sports show, and you would be excited about everything that we've got for you. We will be right here again same time next week, and we are live on YouTube as well, so make sure that you click in there. Take care and have a good weekend. Bye for now.
Bye. Have we stopped going live?
More news, more information. This is ABN News on the Hour.
From the Sky News Centre at 11. The FBI admits it failed to properly investigate a warning that Florida school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz might carry out an attack. Last month, a person close to the 19-year-old contacted the law enforcement agency to warn about his erratic behaviour, his love of guns, and the potential of him conducting a school shooting. 17 people died in the massacre in Parkland. Noah Domini was inside.